All right, let's put on our expert product strategist and technical auditor hats for a second. Today, we're diving into a fascinating explainer where we conduct a full forensic audit of an AI's deep research report. We're going to take what the AI analyst claimed and contrast it directly with the raw, messy, real-world footprint of a solo developer. We're going to see exactly what happens when artificial intelligence tries to diagnose human entrepreneurial behavior.
So, what actually happens when an AI entirely misreads a human founder? Well, as you'll see in just a moment, there is this massive, honestly kind of hilarious gap between AI-driven assumptions and developer reality. We've got this comprehensive Gemini research document painting one very specific picture, while the actual code, repositories, and public profiles paint something completely different.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, the Founder Dossier. We have to start with our subject. This is a developer known as Patchlore on GitHub. Now, the Gemini AI analyst did a system-level audit of this founder's execution patterns, and, well, it confidently diagnosed them with a very structural problem. It called it a severe case of technical escapism. The report's hypothesis basically paints this picture of a highly technical, paranoid, security-focused engineer who over-engineers these complex gvisor sandboxes just to completely avoid the psychological friction of sales and marketing. In the AI's eyes, this developer treats code as a comfortable hiding place, rather than an actual business asset.
And get this, the AI actually mapped this out mathematically. It built a whole model showing that the risk-adjusted net present value for this founder's projects just consistently drops to zero. Why? Because the probability of validation, the P in that equation, is literally zero. The AI's argument is that the developer spends weeks, maybe months, optimizing infrastructure isolation before ever verifying if a single real human being actually wants to buy the solution.
Moving right along to Section 2, Technical Reality Check.
So the AI firmly believes we're dealing with an enterprise infrastructure nerd who is just terrified of talking to users. But let's step out of the theoretical report and into the developer's actual GitHub repository. The AI claims this founder lives in stripped-down, highly secure Python-run ephemeral containers. But actually, scratch that. The code reveals a totally different reality. Their primary toolkit? It's Next.js, Vercel deployments, and TypeScript.
They absolutely aren't building headless enterprise data pipelines. A quick audit of their active public repositories shows, well, a music app for streamers, a consultant directory, a crypto calculator, and even a quote calculator for plumbers. So instead of avoiding the messy real world by hiding behind enterprise security infrastructure, this developer is actually out there rapidly shipping consumer-facing micro SaaS apps and trade calculators.
Let's dig deeper in Section 3, Business and Product Analysis.
To really audit this properly, we need to look at their flagship project, which is called Patchlore. It's an AI-powered patch note generator that features a meme mode for gamers to create fake notes and a dev mode to turn technical logs into professional releases. Now, putting on our product strategist hats, we have to ask ourselves a tough question. Does an AI patch note generator represent a defensible, actual business model in today's incredibly crowded market, or is this just a fun weekend technical demonstration?
Let's be real. The market reality here is pretty brutal. The intelligence and value of a product like Patchlore rely heavily on external AI models. It's essentially just an API wrapper. That means the barrier to entry is super low, and it's highly susceptible to competition because anyone can recreate this prompt logic. So, ironically, while the AI analyst totally hallucinated the developer's tech stack, its warning about avoiding highly commoditized consumer sauce, that was actually spot on for this specific project.
Which brings us to Section 4, Solo Developer Feasibility.
672. That is the number of GitHub contributions this developer made in the last year alone. If we assume this builder has a very limited budget, we have to wonder if one person can actually sustain this kind of rapid application development. Well, the data speaks for itself. The developer's GitHub graph proves an exceptional ability to rapidly prototype, with these massive spikes of activity showing intense, highly focused bursts of shipping code.
A solo founder can absolutely pull this off today by using the ultimate modern playbook. They bootstrap a Next.js boilerplate, use Vercel for instant deployments, and integrate AI prompts for the core logic. By using these shortcuts, they skip all that heavy infrastructure lifting entirely. They aren't bogged down in the complex container orchestration that the AI hallucinated. They're just laser-focused on the front-end user experience and getting things deployed fast.
All right, it's time for Section 5, Critiquing the AI Analyst.
Let's turn the tables and officially audit the Gemini research report itself to see where it succeeded and where it just utterly failed.
To give credit where it's due, the AI offered a brilliantly designed 90-day strict validation roadmap. It correctly identified that this founder needs to force user interviews before writing more code. But man, its most glaring, massive blind spot was asserting that the founder suffers from technical escapism and avoids public marketing.
Why? Because the developer literally runs an active YouTube channel. It's called Founder Delusion. They have 960 subscribers, and they've published 16 videos on topics like SaaS pricing, AI agents, and Discord community building. This revelation completely demolishes the AI's diagnosis. This founder isn't hiding away in some dark terminal. They are actively building a media engine and engaging in the exact kind of organic community building the AI confidently said they were incapable of doing.
Let's wrap this up in Section 6, Final Verdict and Action Plan.
Bringing all this evidence together from the GitHub repos, the AI report, and the YouTube channel, let's look at the final audit scores. Solo feasibility is an incredibly high 9 out of 10 because their technical speed is undeniable. But originality and defensibility really suffer, scoring a 4 and a 5. We have to acknowledge that these are primarily commoditized AI wrappers. The technical execution is solid for sure, but the business moats, they are incredibly shallow.
So what's the actual reality-based next step? The actionable roadmap here is absolutely not to pivot to enterprise security and gvisor sandboxes like the AI suggested. That would be completely throwing away the founder's real unfair advantage. The smartest, fastest path is to leverage those existing 960 YouTube subscribers to find immediate revenue for their existing Next.js apps. The audience is their moat, not the code.
Which brings us to the ultimate analyst question. If I had this project, the research and AI coding tools today, would I build it? Honestly, I would abandon the AI's B2B sandbox fantasy entirely. Instead, I'd lean heavily into the developer's demonstrated Next.js speed, and I would build SaaS tools directly tailored to the pain points of their growing YouTube audience. Creator-led micro SaaS is absolutely the winning ticket here.
That is the huge takeaway from this explainer. AI research can be incredibly convincing and sound super authoritative, but it can also hallucinate an entirely different reality if it ignores the actual messy human footprint. So I'll leave you with this. Would you invest your time in an AI's perfectly theorized B2B pivot or the founder's messy, real-world micro SaaS reality? Let us know which path you think actually survives contact with the real market.